two of my fellow honor council representatives. Alrighty, next slide. So what is ECFMG? It is educational, it stands for Educational Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. It is a standard for evaluating international medical graduates, that's IMGs, entering into the United States healthcare system. It's pretty much an organization that assesses the qualifications of an international medical graduates to see if they're to confirm if their medical school diploma and transcripts are genuine and if they are issued by a recognized medical school. So why do you need to be ECFMG certified? You need that to enter into any ACGME accredited residency or fellowship programs. You also need it to be eligible for USMLE Step 3, and you need it to get US licensure in the United States. Okay, I'm also going to talk about who is an IMG. An IMG is an international medical graduate who obtained, well, sorry, it's anyone who obtained a medical degree outside of the United States. It is not determined by your citizenship status, it's strictly determined by your medical school location. For example, if you're a US citizen and you go to Barbados, you see our lovely LESC building over there. If you go to Barbados, you graduate from Ross, you're considered an international medical graduate. If a Bayesian or a Brazilian or anyone with any citizenship goes to the United States and pursues medical school, and graduates from medical school, they're considered a US graduate, not an IMG. So it's pretty much where you graduate from medical school. And also, as of now, July 1st, 2025, medical graduates graduated from Canada are also considered IMGs to enter the United States.
Hi, so my name is Ravila. I'm the other honor council representative, and I'll be talking a little bit about the requirements for ECFMG certification. In terms of medical school requirements, schools must be listed in the World Directory of Medical Schools, must have an ECFMG sponsored note confirming eligibility, and you can use this next link, the World Directory link, to find out if your school is. Obviously, Ross University is, so this is not something that we have to actually look into. The part that is a little bit more labor intensive for us is the application itself for ECFMG certification. We have to submit an application via My InterHealth portal. And it's a Pathway 3 medical school accredited by agency recognized by World Federation for Medical Education, or WFME. What it'll ask you in the application is it'll ask you about the intent, your educational details, and understanding of the requirements. And unfortunately, it costs $925, but it's something that's mandatory for us to do. The next two parts is something that's also not really as labor intensive for us, but more for our school. So in order to apply, and to put in this application, you had to have passed step 1 and you had to at least have taken step 2. You can apply after you take your step 2. The It'll also include like the clinical and communication skills. So either you have completed the ECFMG pathway or you have a valid passing step 2 CS result. For pathway validity, expiration based on the application season itself, you must be unexpired to certify or enter the NRMP match. In terms of the medical education credentialing requirements, your graduation year must be covered by the ECFMG notes in WDOMS. You must have completed at least 4 accredited academic years at an eligible medical school, and you must provide your verified medical diploma, your final transcript, and also verification must apply to transferred credits, but that's something that our school does for us.
Hey guys, my name is Lula, and I'm gonna be doing this presentation for you guys. So, are you able to hear me well?
When you muted it, we could see. Oh no, if you mute your computer, like the sound on your
Am I
computer.
better now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I apologize. I'm trying to make this. So now I need to go back and then, okay. So now we're at the timeline. Oh, I'm all over the place. Okay, so the timeline for getting certified, that's kind of gonna vary by individual, but the main thing to remember is you want to apply as soon as possible. So as soon as obviously you've passed step one, once you take step two, you are eligible to apply. You're not gonna get fully certified until you actually pass the exam because that's required for you to go into the match. But like Ravila said, you are allowed to apply. And you can also check the school status on the World website for medical schools. Ross is still, up to date and going just fine. And then you get certified after you have graduated, but you want to start the process as early as you can so that they are getting in your steps, getting in your diploma, getting in your transcript from the school. And that's also going to depend on how fast are you with getting step two done, how fast is Ross going to be certifying your diploma, and then obviously the processing time if there's any holidays or things that are causing this to pause. Right now, for the people that are in the match 2026, such as myself, we are right here. So we are going through the interviews and we have already submitted our applications and we're waiting for March 4 for us and the hospitals to rank. And so we have already done all of the steps that we have mentioned to qualify into the NRMP match for 2026. So, in summary, why is this important? Because we are IMGs and we spent the first 2 years of med school in Barbados, we need to get ECFMG certified to be able to apply into the NRMP, which makes you eligible for the 2026 United States match or whichever year you end up applying. It also allows these hospitals and programs to know that the education you received um, and knowledge and communication skills have all been certified by your school and a third party, which is ECFMG in this case, and that we meet all the standards that students that studied within the US have to meet as well. So you want to start off by verifying your school. In this case, we know school Ross is verified, but for other people that could be a problem. You're going to apply via My Intel. That's the new website that you'll become familiar with once you are at that step. You're going to make sure that you have passed and obviously taken step one and step two because you can apply after taking the exam, but they won't certify you unless you pass. And then you're going to actually have the USMLE share your score with ECFMG, and then you're gonna pass the OET exam. In the past, what was equivalent of that is taking the step two clinical skills, but that's no longer the case. So now you just take a OET exam, which basically tests your listening, reading, and writing skills in English. And that will be taken at a Prometric exam center, the same way you take your regular exams. It's the same location. And then you're going to verify your diploma and credentials, which are done by Ross. And you're going to share your step one and step two scores, which I believe cost around $80. And that's when you earn your ECFMG certification. And then you're finally at the step where you can match, become a resident, and apply for step three, which allows you to even apply for step three before starting residency. And that's pretty much all we